I'm seeing that.
When I was living in the city area, it was like the peak of those Bird electric pay and go scooters. And so it was just like on the way home from bars, and you'd see like a whole gaggle of like homeless guys just flying down the road, sharing those. Yeah.
But did they pay for them?
I don't know. Apparently there were some issues where you could just do it for free. I don't remember how that worked, but yeah, I'd see someone where it's like,
I choose to believe Mr. Beast littered 20s throughout St. Louis.
Yeah.
and the electric bike business booms.
Because I'd be like, that's that little fucker with the pretend broken legs that sits out front of Caribou Coffee and asks for food. And then if you try and get him food, he suddenly has a big old attitude about it because he doesn't want food. He wants drugs. And so he just wants the money. Which,
I
fair
think
enough.
He has a point.
He is
I'm not
homeless.
hungry right now, but I could go for it.
I could go for some drugs. Just a little bit of meth. And then zoot around on the bird scooters. Yeah, that was...
What drug is most likely to make you homeless?
Probably heroin.
Yeah.
Probably heroin. It seems like the one that makes... And I say that because like it's so illegal that if you get caught, you're going to be fucked up, and the justice system is going to ruin you. But also, like, when you're on it, you're not a productive member of society in the least. It seems like I don't imagine, or it's certainly not displayed in media, that someone's like, yeah, give me a little bit of that heroin. All right, got to head into this meeting. Catch you later. You know, it's not that. It's like you're like nodding off with a syringe in your arm. It's what I'm picturing. Like the whole day going
on meth, right?
Extra productive.
Yes, you can fight a whole world war.
So a lot of the service industry, and particular like truck drivers and anybody who is not as prevalent now with truck driving because they've got limits on how long they can drive per day. Kind of what they did to the deadliest catch. Yeah, crab fishing. But it used to be that, dude, can you do 50 hours straight? Fuck yeah, double overtime. Let's go. And they would be wired on something. So I think a lot of the service industry still runs on amphetamines or of one kind or another.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to pick a drug with the hopes of not becoming homeless, some kind of upper that helps you do your job is just going to be better.
An amphetamine? I'm stupid.
No, it's just another kind of
different upper. Okay. Because I associate that with Wall Street because I was alive in the 80s. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it seems like these guys got a lot done on cocaine, which like hang out with a bunch of people on cocaine and then hang out with a bunch of people smoking weed. And it's like, yeah, if I had to pick one of these groups to be in charge of my finances, I'm going to pick the coke guys. Like, because like the weed guys, it's like, I don't even think you're going to bother investing my money. Like, you're just going to sit on it and do nothing. But the coke guys, you know, at least
get it done.
They got big dreams, or they'll tell you vehemently they're going to get it done. And then they will not once they've woken up and they're like hungover from the coke.
You were asking about Salvia the other day. That's one of those that I won't touch. That when I go to the smoke shop,
it doesn't look fun at all.
Is it still legal?
Oh yeah. When I go to the smoke shop, they'll sell you like bags of it. Like I've never seen so many capsules they sell like 4-pound bags of capsules. It's so much. It's like a grocery bag full of salvia. I don't care how much it is. I've never asked, but they've got so many different like ways to take it. And
is it like it's like mushrooms or acid, right?
Yeah, I think it's like a mild like psychedelic, but it also has, I've heard that it has similar effects to like opiates and the way it can make you feel.
Are you sure you're not thinking of kratom?
I am thinking of kratom, the other fucking green nonsense, somehow legal drug.
Which one do they have bags of?
Kratom. Oh, I didn't know. I've never seen salvia at the stores. I guess I've never looked.
Unless I'm confused. But I thought that they sold it there. I remember seeing those big bags of green capsules and maybe even green, like lawn trimmings that they were selling. I don't want any part of any of that because it reminds me of what's the fake weed that we were talking about? Spice.
Oh. Spice is the worst drug of all time. It couldn't.
Oh, you didn't like spice?
I couldn't have been more stressed out and high strung while I was high on spice.
It looked pretty cool in the movie Dune.
Oh,
No, well,
yeah,
that-
gives you
they
those
had
blue
good-
eyes. Dude, I would do some of that Dune spice. I'd be all about that. I'd be
Glad Kyle
boofing it.
get back.
I'd be boofing fucking Dune spice. But
Wait, is boofing put it in your butt?
yeah, I'd get it up
Okay.
there. I want to fully absorb it. You don't want to waste a speck of Dune spice. It's the most valuable substance in the whole galaxy. Woody, interstellar travel depends
You're
on
right.
it.
I
And-
was being stupid. I'm sorry.
all right, it's
Boof
going to give us
away.
long life. It's going to give us powers, insights, and those blue eyes are fucking sexy.
That
I would love to have glowing blue eyes.
that I don't know much about the whole kratom thing other than really what you just said, that apparently it like feels like an opiate when you drink it, but like a much weaker version of that. But I have a buddy who like will make kratom tea sometimes and drink that, because they do. Kyle's right. They have like, I haven't been to one of the legal weed shops in a long time because it's been legal here for a while, but they just have these giant cardboard boxes with like just a loose plastic bag full of green powder. And it's like green dragon, whatever. And he says you make it into a tea and it's the most foul tasting, disgusting, horrible concoction. Like he says, it's like a challenge to drink this tea. Like it's a nightmare to do it. Like imagine the worst.
Sailor?
I did a small amount in college once, but like I literally just saw season 2 of Always Sunny breathing at me on the TV a little bit. Like I didn't take enough.
If you do like so people don't know anything about mushrooms. If you do like 0.2 grams, that's a microdose. Maybe it cheers you up. Maybe you don't even notice you're on it. If you do between 3 and 5 grams, that's what they call a hero's dose. And, in that you're in for an experience. Okay. 3 grams of mushrooms, which is maybe the most I've ever done, is a chore. Like it fills your whole palm and it's the worst tasting mushrooms ever. And I don't know. I had it with cranberry juice or something.
No.
This is a job.
Can I tell you what I did? Because
Yeah.
I thought I did a good job.
Okay.
I took Tostitos scoops, the corn chips,
I'm listening.
and I put the mushroom in there, and then I like got a heaping.
The problem with these mushrooms, they're not dry enough.
That's what the salsa is for. And see, I need something to hide the texture and the taste and the dryness. So like a corn chip with ton of like hot salsa, everything's just getting munched up in there now. You couldn't really tell that you're eating something gross.
I bet if you went
Maybe
with
that's
queso
the move.
instead, that'd be even better.
I wanted the salsa. I felt like that the spice and the vinegar and the wetness of it. Like the mushrooms are gross. Woody's
you need
right.
a strong enough flavor. Like you can't hide
Something
mushrooms
overpowering.
with tea or something. I think it was Taylor who told me that's why edibles are often like chocolates and gummy bears, because the marijuana itself is not a tasty thing. You can't hide it with something not tasty or mildly tasty.
Yeah,
It's kind of that, but they've never made a chocolate or a gummy that hides the foul taste of weed. I think it's more to do with the process of creating edibles lends itself to chocolate and gummies bonding to the fat content in the chocolate, and it's a different separation process. Maybe they maybe use alcohol to separate the THC when they make gummies. I've read some tutorials, right, but I've never made candies. But
even so, like when people
they
say
all taste like shit.
Like you'll hear people say things like, "Oh, I had this candy bar and I just kept eating little pieces off of it, and lo and behold, oh no, that was 30 minutes ago, and it was a 200 milligram bar of chocolate." It's like you're lying, because like if I was at one of your houses and you had like a dish of candies and it was sitting out as if it was just like a receptionist dish and it was weed chocolate, like I'd take one and be like, "Oh, that's weed." That's either a weed chocolate or it's the worst made chocolate of all time. Like it couldn't be anything else. You can smell it. You're right.
They stink of weed.
I can't argue with the chocolate thing because I don't think I've ever had weed chocolate. But I can say I'd find the gummies to be not far off gummies.
I can tell the difference in those gummies, because if I'm like having some nice Haribos, those are delicious and tasty. But these weed gummies, very different. Like
weed gummies are disgusting.
They're off.
I think I both love sugar and rarely have it. I have the only sugar I'll have today, I promise you, will be a single gummy cube. Like at least direct sugar. If there was some in a Tostito or something, then
dude. But I'm telling you, like those gummies are rancid. I roll them up in a little ball.
Delicious to me.
I swallow it like a pill, so I don't get any of the flavor in my mouth.
I have heard you guys say, even amongst like our sponsors, like everyone we've ever had, like you just take it like a pill. No, man. I chew that shit up. I savor it. I don't swallow it right away. I'm missing the goodness of the gummy. There's sugar in that thing.
It's because your drug of choice is just sugar. And so like you're like, I guess I don't really want to be high, but I can take a couple gummies, you know. Jackie, it's for the drugs.
Can I get another jar of those Flintstones, please? Yeah.
Like walks in on you. Oh, I'm sorry. What? This is a regular Reese's? Oh no.
You ever eat way too many Flintstones vitamins?
No.
What?
No.
Y'all didn't grow up with those?
I did grow up with them, but there was a kid in the 90s who died from eating a ton of them. And I still remember my mom telling me a story about that as a kid.
That was my brother.
Like, you know that these aren't candies. Like, you can die. And I was like, what?
I don't. He got into the Flintstones vitamins. He ate 2 jars of them. He's done. I love them. Yeah. I dared him to do it.
I don't think they make those anymore.
Probably don't. Now it's those vitamin gummies, which I also have been known to eat a few too many of, but they'll give you diarrhea if you eat too many.
Remember when we were doing that fitness challenge like 7 years ago, whatever it was? And I remember I was like, in my head, I'm like, man, the thing holding me back is going to be time and hydration, because I just need to be able to sit there and just grind for hours a night, because I won't be able to get any MEPs during the work day the next day. So I just got to grind. So I got to stay super hydrated. And so for like a week and a half, I was getting tons of MEPs, and I was drinking Pedialyte like it was water. Like, because I was like, if I can hydrate, I'll be even more elite. And so I was like finishing a big 32 ounce of Pedialyte.
Jesus.
And then go grab another one and start drinking that. And like 2 days in, I'm like, oh man, my body must be flushing out the toxins, because I have had brutal diarrhea.
Salt water.
Drinking salt water. And I was drinking tons of other liquid too. And so I was just diarrheaing for days until I realized, like, I think I read the back of a Pedialyte, and it's like, you know, oh, you're feeling really dehydrated? Drink half of this. I'm like, oh, so don't drink a 4-pack in one evening. Okay. So yeah, don't do that. PSA, it will give you the shits, and you'll have to, it'll take like 2 full days for you to go back to normal after you stop.
Dude, I just noticed the thing Zach put in about kratom. I want to read it. Kratom's effects, there are 2 effects I like. See if you can pick them out. On the body include nausea, itching, sweating, dry mouth, constipation, increased urination, tachycardia, perhaps pronounced
tachycardia.
Right.
That's like heart
tachycardia. Thank you. Vomiting, drowsiness, loss of appetite. They experience anorexia, weight loss, insomnia, hepatotoxicity, seizure, and hallucinations.
Sounds awful.
Huh?
What's the good part? The hallucinations?
Weight loss and hallucinations are in there.
Well, you're going to be so ill, you won't be able to get food down, or keep it down at least. So
I accept your terms.
Well, I think those are similar side effects to like opiate pills, right? Like not being able to shit.
All right, so you got to take a lot of opiates to get to the constipation part. They do make you itchy though. Like I think I kind of like the itchiness. It's kind of like, you ever like have an itch that's pleasing to scratch? It can be like that. And if you don't want to obviously hurt yourself and like get like a weirdo, like scratch your skin up. But if you had like, I don't know, like a back scratcher or like a loofah or something, and you hop in the shower, it kind of feels really good to like scratch yourself everywhere when you're really itchy. And
I would hate that.
I can't relate to this at all. When I take,
you're also high as fuck.
And by the way, I've only taken opiates like post surgery, never recreationally. Yeah. I get the constipation very easily. I'm good at that, and I've never itched. I've certainly never enjoyed an itch.
Only been
I've heard the constipation
once in my life.
Thing. Yeah, I'm pretty much never constipated if I'm eating normally.
Yeah, I didn't think it was a real thing. I didn't believe it. I was like, what do you mean? Like the poop won't come out? Like, and then Wings, of course, made up that crazy story about poop like getting log jammed. I was like, maybe other people's poops are different than mine, or like maybe their buttholes are shaped different. Like do I? Like, I just didn't understand.
Yours is like one of those Lego things. He comes out like a star.
I spent my whole childhood
constipated. A star, right?
It was like my normal.
I've got a crescent moon butthole. It comes out of that.
Like the Lego. Dude, when I was a kid, I pooped like every 4 or 5 days. That was typical for me. I remember we went whitewater rafting for a week down the Grand Canyon, and there were no toilets there, of course. You just had to like manage. And I was like, well, I'll just not poop this week. And I didn't.
That's insane.
It is insane.
How do kids do stuff like that? Like,
I don't know.
you just don't shit for 5 days and then just have
or
a
7, something
mass
like that.
exodus at your home.
I'm still like, it seems what happened to me in prison and me not pooping for weeks like that while eating. I wasn't eating much. I was on an extreme like diet, but I was eating something. And it's like, if you took the food that I ate between the time I had pooped last and between weeks later when I pooped the second time, my God, it would cover the table. You know, it would be like a bucket of food. You'd be like 3 gallons of food, 4 gallons of food. How much food do you eat over the course of? I don't remember how long I went without pooping. I think it might have been 6 weeks or something. Like, I remembered it better back then. Like, whatever I said is, I was so worried. I was going to the nurse like any day. I was rubbing my stomach to try to like make something happen while I was in bed. Like maybe it's just like solidified down there or blocked up. So I'm like rubbing where I think my intestines are, just sort of like.
Was there ever a time that you were laying in the prison bed and you're like, no, I think maybe I did shit, actually. Maybe.
No.
Like, no, you didn't ever try and.
Well, no, because it's a little scary to poop in prison, right? Like, I don't like pooping in front of people. I'm a private pooper. Well, I'm a private pooper. I'm a very private pooper. I wouldn't poop it. I pooped at school twice in my life.
I'm the opposite. I commonly film it and upload it to Motherless.
You're turd chomper 69. I thought I recognized that physique.